The fundamental theorem of line integrals states that if we have a conservative vector field with a potential function that is a scalar function, f at xy, which means that the gradient of that scalar function is the vector field, then if that vector field is a force vector field, we can determine the work done by that force vector field moving an object along a particular path C from one point to the next by plugging those points, terminal minus initial, into the potential function, which enables us quite a shortcut if we don't have to evaluate the line integral. So the value of this line integral can be determined simply by plugging the endpoints into the potential vector function and subtracting them. So let's take a look at an example. Here we have a force field that is moving an object along a path C that is a parabola, y is equal to 2x squared. So here we have a graph that represents the path of the particle, but we're starting at the ordered pair -1, 2 and moving to the ordered pair 2, 8, so the orientation of this curve is along in this direction. Now, if we were to evaluate the line integral in a traditional way, we would need to find the parametric equations for this curve, plug the parametric equations for x and y into the vector function, find the derivative of the vector function representing the path, dot product the vectors to get a scalar function, and then finally calculate the line integral from the parameter value that begins the interval to the parameter value that ends the interval. The fundamental theorem of line integrals says we don't actually have to do all of that. If our vector function is a conservative vector field, what we can do instead is to determine the scalar function whose gradient vector, determined by that scalar function's first partial with respect to x, first partial with respect to y, is the same as the vector field. So we need to find a scalar function so that the first partial of that scalar function with respect to x is x squared, and the first partial of that scalar function with respect to y is y squared. So essentially we integrate this piece with respect to x to get x cubed over 3 plus some constant. That constant value could be a function of y, because y is being held constant if I integrated with respect to x. Similarly, we can integrate this y squared with respect to y to see that it came from y cubed over 3 plus some constant. But again, if I'm integrating with respect to y, any function of x would have been held constant, so we hold space for the possibility that there was also a function of x. So a scalar function that meets these two criteria needs to have a term x cubed over 3 plus a term y cubed over 3, and we see that my x cubed over 3 could have a function of y, but this is a function of y that would have been held constant if I take the first partial with respect to x. And considering the second requirement, we did need to have y cubed over 3, but we could also have some function of x. Well, this is a function of x that would have been held constant when we differentiated with respect to y. So this scalar function can serve as the potential function. Now, worth mentioning here that we could also have a true constant being added on here, and let's see how that might play out. So we can calculate the work done by this conservative vector field moving an object along a path C by looking at the potential function evaluated at the terminal ordered pair minus that potential function evaluated at the initial ordered pair. The terminal point was at 2, 8, and the initial point was -1, 2. And when we plug 2, 8 into this potential function, we get 2 plugged in for x, 8 plugged in for y. And then from that, we're going to subtract the initial point plugged into the potential function, which is -1 plugged in for x and 2 plugged in for y. Now notice once I distribute this negative in, these c values are going to cancel out. So if we did include a true constant c in the potential function, it would end up canceling out once we subtract these two potentials. And therefore, it's not necessary. And so our final answer turns out to be 171 work units.